Well, joining me now in the studio is the SETA Foundation's research director, Kilic Bugra Kanat. Thanks so much for coming in. So, he has always been critical of the Mueller investigation, and it is quite possible now that Trump will actually fire Robert Mueller. Might citizen protests become the primary force to actually keep the investigation into Russian collusion alive?
I don't think so. I think even yesterday's demonstrations took place in the major cities in the United States, and those cities are not the really popular bases of President Trump. And President Trump wouldn't feel the pressure if the demonstrations only be contained in Washington, New York, or Philadelphia. I think what will be the most significant pressure over the administration, over President Trump in regards to this investigation will be the House of Representatives, and especially the Intelligence Committee, which would be taken over, the leadership would be taken over by the Democrats. And as you may recall, the Intelligence Committee basically closed the investigation a year ago, and they said there is no collusion and shut down the investigation. And one of the election promises during the campaign of some of those representatives were basically, we will open this investigation again, and we will look over and we will see what happened. And especially after the firing of Attorney General Sessions, now the same members are saying that we will also look at this, the firing of Attorney General. So it will be one of the most significant domestic politics issues in the United States for the next couple of years, probably.
You know, it's hard to determine because you hear so many different analysts saying different things about how powerful this new Democrat-held House of Representatives will actually be, enforcing this investigation and keeping Trump basically in check.
Yeah.
Let me get your opinion on that. I mean, only having half the legislative branch,
yes,
the entire executive, still makes him and the Supreme Court still makes him very powerful.
Yeah, he will be powerful. The expectation is, for example, in regards to impeachment, nobody is expecting something, a step forward by the House. However, especially the Intelligence Committee, if they can pressure subpoena powers in regards to the business relations of the Trump organization, and the tax returns of President Trump, and his relation with some of the families in the Middle East, especially the royal families. This may create significant pressure over President Trump. And regarding for the last 2 years, when we look at these investigations, we see that most of the political power play game is taking place over the media, especially in regards to leaking of some of those investigations to the media, and seeing the basically waiting for the reaction of President Trump, which is, as we see in the last press conference, very sensitive and can be very aggressive in regards to his relations with the media.
Right.
So we will see how these things will, you know, take place in the next 2 years.
Yeah. I want to hone in on those tax returns because he has refused to release them, but at one point MSNBC got a hold of some dating back to 2010.
Yeah.
Completely anticlimactic, if I can characterize it as that. Why is so much being said about them? I mean, granted, he should just release them. That's what every president in history has done. But do you think there's a lot of information in there, or is it being overplayed by the Democrats?
I think the fact that he's not releasing it is the most controversial issue. So there is no smoking gun. There is nothing that was figured out by the even the most significant investigative journalists in the United States. However, the fact that he's not releasing it creates this perception that he's hiding something. And that perception itself is creating some kind of excitement, at least among some people in the media right now.
The perception isn't proof.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay, Kilic, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for coming in.